The latest wave of rugby union transfer activity offers a fascinating snapshot of how clubs across the northern and southern hemispheres are balancing long-term squad stability with short-term necessity. From the Bulls securing key forwards to Leinster scrambling to address an injury crisis, and Newcastle Falcons reinforcing their front row, the global player market continues to evolve in response to both opportunity and adversity. Bulls secure core talent amid exit rumblings. The Bulls have made a powerful statement about their future ambitions by tying down two of their most valuable forwards, Marco van Staden and Paolo Gumede, to long-term contracts. In an era where South African franchises are often accused of acting as feeder systems for European and Japanese clubs, this double re-signing sends a clear and deliberate message: the Bulls are building continuity, not cashing out. Van Staden, a Rugby World Cup winner with the Springboks, has committed his future to the Pretoria-based outfit until 2028. Meanwhile, Gumede, widely regarded as one of the most promising young forwards in South African rugby, has extended his stay even further, signing through to 2029. These renewals come at a crucial time for the franchise, particularly as several players are preparing to depart Loftus Versfeld at the end of the current campaign. Notably, David Kriel and Juan Norch are both set to exit, raising concerns about squad depth and long-term competitiveness. However, the retention of Van Staden and Gumede offsets some of those losses and reinforces the Bulls' spine. Van Staden's versatility, capable of playing both in the back row and at hooker, has made him a cornerstone of the squad since his debut in 2017. Over the years, he has accumulated over a century of appearances for the Bulls, while also earning more than 30 caps at international level. His experience includes a Rugby World Cup triumph and consecutive Rugby Championship titles, making him one of the most decorated players in the squad. Gumede, on the other hand, represents the future. Since joining from the Sharks during the 2023-24 season, the dynamic forward has quickly established himself as a regular presence in the matchday lineup. At just 25 years old, his blend of physicality and work rate has seen him rack up 30 appearances already, including multiple outings in the current campaign. Bulls CEO Edgar Rathbone addressed speculation that the franchise is becoming a selling club by emphasizing the importance of retaining top talent. He highlighted that keeping a proven international like Van Staden alongside an emerging star like Gumede demonstrates both stability and ambition. Rathbone also pointed to the influence of head coach Johan Ackerman, whose vision for the team appears to be resonating with players. By securing these contracts, the Bulls are not only safeguarding their immediate competitiveness but also laying the groundwork for sustained success over the next several seasons. Newcastle add depth with Jamie Clark signing. Meanwhile, in England, Newcastle Falcons have moved swiftly to bolster their squad by signing promising young prop Jamie Clark on a short-term deal. The 23-year-old, a former junior Wallaby, arrives at Kingston Park after plying his trade with Irish club Old Wesley in the All-Ireland League. Despite his relatively young age, Clark has already gained valuable experience through previous stints with the NSW Waratahs and Leinster A, exposing him to high-performance environments across multiple rugby systems. His move to Newcastle comes at a time when the club's front-row resources have been stretched thin due to injuries. The signing is therefore both a pragmatic solution to immediate squad shortages and a potential long-term investment. Should Clark impress during his stint, Clark himself expressed enthusiasm about the opportunity, describing it as a chance to test himself in a professional setup and absorb knowledge from experienced players and coaches. For a young prop still developing his craft, the exposure to Premiership-level rugby could prove invaluable. Newcastle Sporting General Manager Neil McElroy echoed this sentiment, noting that Clark has already made a strong first impression since arriving. He emphasized that the club intends to closely assess the prop's performances with a view to potentially offering him a more permanent contract in the future. The Falcons have been active in the transfer market recently, with players like Josh Hodge also joining ahead of schedule. These moves suggest a proactive approach as the club seeks to strengthen its squad during the crucial closing stages of the season. Clark is expected to be in contention for Newcastle's upcoming Premiership clash against the Leicester Tigers, a fixture that could provide an early test of his readiness for top-flight rugby. Leinster face front-row crisis and familiar faces across the Irish Sea. Leinster are grappling with a significant injury crisis that has left their front row severely depleted. As one of Europe's most dominant clubs, Leinster's depth is typically a strength, but even they are not immune to the toll of a demanding season. head coach Leo Cullen now finds himself with limited options at loosehead prop following a series of setbacks. Promising young talents Jack Boyle and Paddy McCarthy remain sidelined with long-term injuries, while established international Andrew Porter is still working his way back to full match fitness after a prolonged absence. The situation has been further exacerbated by a recent injury to Alex Yuzanov, who was forced off just minutes into Leinster's Champions Cup quarter-final victory over the Sale Sharks. This latest blow has left the province with just one fully fit specialist loosehead, Jerry Kerr, raising serious concerns about squad depth heading into the business end of the season. In response, Leinster are reportedly considering moves to bring back former players Ed Byrne and Peter Dooley. Both props have extensive experience with the province, having each made over 100 appearances during their previous stints. Byrne, currently with Cardiff Rugby, is in the process of returning from a calf injury. A short-term return to Leinster could provide him with valuable game time while offering the club an experienced and reliable option in a position of urgent need. Dooley, who now plays for Connacht, is also being linked with a move back to Dublin. While initial reports suggested a potential return at the end of the season, the current injury crisis may accelerate those plans. Cullen acknowledged the challenge facing his squad, noting that the situation could create opportunities for younger players while also presenting significant risks. With crucial fixtures looming, including knockout matches in European competition, Leinster must strike a delicate balance between managing player welfare and maintaining performance levels that a market defined by strategy and survival. Taken together, these developments highlight the contrasting dynamics at play in modern rugby union. For the Bulls, the priority is long-term stability, locking in key players to build a cohesive and competitive squad. For Newcastle, it is about short-term reinforcement and talent evaluation. And for Leinster, the focus is on crisis management and leveraging familiar resources to navigate an injury-ravaged period. What unites these stories is the importance of adaptability. Whether it's securing the future, seizing opportunity, or responding to adversity, clubs must constantly adjust their strategies in an increasingly competitive global landscape. As the season progresses, these decisions will undoubtedly shape the fortunes of each team. The Bulls will hope their investment in continuity pays dividends, Newcastle will look for immediate impact from their new recruit, and Leinster will aim to weather their injury storm without derailing their campaign. In the ever-evolving world of rugby transfers, one thing remains certain: success belongs to those who can plan ahead while reacting effectively to the unexpected.